Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. I hope you guys are doing well and learning something from my videos. As you know that I am recording the Python playlist, and till now I have completed the conditional statement. So the conditional statement has completed into different part because of the length of the content, and I hope you like the video. And if you have not watched, please watch. And if you have not watched any of the Python video, I request you that start from the beginning. You will get a lot of insight. You will understand how actually Python works, and you will have a complete robust understanding of the coding. And along with this, I have given some assignment on the conditional formatting as well. So I request you that complete these assignments. There are 25 assignments. If you complete these assignments, I feel that you will be very strong, and your concept on the if, elif, and else will be very strong. And you are able to code in any sort of code. You will be able to make a logic and code in this based upon the if, elif, and else. Where you can find this assignment, actually in the last video of my conditional statement, that is the video number 11th. In the description you will find the link over here. So in this link, if you click, you will find that document, and from there you can take all the questions and you can solve that. If you want that I should highlight your solution of these problems, you can also share that on my LinkedIn, and I will definitely cover that in video. So other let's say person, if having some problem of solving those questions, they can take a reference of yours. Or if you want that I should solve that, please comment. I will give the solution of all those questions. That's not a problem. So this is my LinkedIn account. You can follow me, or you can send the connection, and you can send me the solution in the message. I will in the next video I will highlight your solutions. I will also try to keep the reference of those solutions, so if someone will come look for some reference, they can take from there. So with that, let's start the today's agenda. So today we are going to cover the list in Python. What is list, how it is working, and why we need the list. Okay, so with that we'll start this video. Let's get started, guys. First I will create a new ipynb file. So that will be a 7 point, let's say list dot ipynb. Perfect. And then I will select the kernel. You know what is kernel, you need the kernel to run the code, right? Then let me test this first. So I'll just write, let's say name equal to Prashant. So I just want to check that this is working perfectly. Yeah, it is executing. Now let me off this auto suggestion. So I'll just snooze this for 60 minutes. More than that, I think let it be. Later on, I will, if it will again pop up, it will suggest, I will again snooze for the 60 minutes. Okay, perfect. Now let's start, guys. So first we will understand what is list. So list is nothing but a inbuilt data type in Python. Okay, so why do we need the list? Whenever, let's say, you want to carry some of the more items, you need the list, right? So for example, whenever you go to market for the shopping, you create the list of the item whatever you want to purchase, right? So same way, whenever we want to carry more than one element, we create a list in the Python. For example, let's say if I write let's say a name equal to, over here, Prashant. So under this variable we can write only one name, right? But let's say that I want to add more names over here. Let's say I have multiple names, so I can create one list of name that can contain all the name. Let's say I have one city over here, and in this city, let's say I'm writing over here Delhi. Okay, so I have not only one city, I have a multiple cities. So I can create one list, and I can keep, or I can store all the city in that. Let's say Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, New York, whatever is there, I can create one list and save over there. So now coming to the definition, what is list? List is an inbuilt data type in Python, which is used to store more than one element, homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, now what is homogeneous and what is heterogeneous? We will come on that. The list is mutable and it is ordered. So let me write down this over here. Okay, let me write down over here. List is inbuilt data types in Python. Okay, it is used to store more than one element. It can store homo homogeneous and heterogeneous element. Okay, list is ordered and mutable. Okay, so this is the definition of a list. List is an inbuilt data type. It is used to store the more than one element, and it can store homogeneous and heterogeneous element. So now what is homogeneous and heterogeneous? We will cover that once we'll write a code. Okay, list is ordered and mutable. So it is ordered, right? If you, let's say you are writing a number 10, 20, 13, 1, 2, 3. So once you execute, it will give the order of the list, and it is mutable. What is the meaning of mutable? That whatever the element you store in that, you can change that element later on. So we will see that in the code, right? So now let's create one list. Create a list. How we can create? So let's say I'll take one variable L1 equal to, you cannot create a variable with list because this is a reserved word. Okay, so you cannot write that. You just take, as you create a string, one variable, you assign a value. Similar way, you just take one variable. I'll take, let's say L equal to, and I will take the bracket. So whenever you want to create a any list, we'll start with the square bracket. Okay, so list can start with a square bracket. It is important to know. Okay, and it is very much important. If you change the bracket, it will not be a list. It will be different data types. So list means square bracket. Okay, so now let's say I'm creating some of the item which I want to buy from the fruit market or a vegetable market. Okay, so let's say apple, I want to buy guava, and banana, and I will write this, let's say, and along with that I also want to buy, let's say, bread. Okay, and I also want to buy hair oil. Perfect. So this is what the list I have created. Now if I enter this, this is the, it has been executed. Now if you want to know whether this is the list or not, what we will do, we'll just do type of L. So if you to do type of L, it will show you that list means this L variable is a list and it has a, these are the element. Now we'll check the length of this list. So what is the total length of this list? So length of the list basically len, we take this function len, under this we'll pass this L. So the total length of the list is 5. How? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Don't say here and all is not a 2 element over here, it's a 1 element. You can see that I have written under the 1 inverted comma. Now you will say that why I have written under the inverted comma. Guys, we have a different string at the end. These are the string and we are writing, assigning these all into one variable. So if you want to assign all this all this string into one variable, then you need to create a different data type that is called a list or tuple. Right? What is tuple will come again later on. But if you are keeping all this string together under the square bracket and assigning to a variable, that is called a list. Clear? Very much. Now, coming to that, I have a type list, length is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a 5 element into that. Clear? Now, let's say that I have created this list and I want to know that which element is at what position. Perfect. Which element is at what position, or what is the exact location of any of the element in the list. So let's say if I write L of 0, it is apple, right? Why I have written L of 0? Why not I have written L of 1? Because I have total 5 element, 1 2 3 4 5. So I can write directly from 1, and with that the position of apple is in serial number. If you, let's say, the position of this is 1, right? But 1 is Gava, not a apple. Why so? Why? Because there is a concept of index, guys. Okay, so what is index? Let's try to understand the part of index over here. So let's say as soon as I have created this list, the position of each element is known as the index. Okay, and index position of, I'll write over here, position of each element in the given sequence is known as index. Perfect. And index always start from 0. Perfect. So in the given sequence, the position of each element is known as the index. Perfect. So in this given sequence, the position of each element is known as the index. So for this, position of this is known as the index, position of this known as the index, and index. Perfect. And index always start with the 0. So if I ask you, in the given list L, what is the index of apple? So it means that what is the position of the apple in the given list? So in the given list, the position of apple is what? Yes, right, it is 0. Perfect. Now what is the position of guava? It is 1. It is banana 2, bread 3, hair oil 4 and 5. No, it is 4, guys, because it is one string together. Okay, so the at L0 we have a apple. Perfect. Now let's try to understand the different try to understand the position of different let's say element. Okay, so L of, let's say, I'll write 5, L of 5. And 1 second, let me just erase this part, you may get confused over here. Okay, now perfect. So it is giving list object is not callable. Why? Okay, I did a mistake, guys, sorry, it is my mistake. It should be the square bracket. L of 5. Perfect. List index out of range. It means that your list index is out of range. You have a total index of 4, but you are trying to access the 5. So there is no 5 index or 5th index in your given list. That's why you are getting the error that list index out of range. It is something that if you have a capacity of let's say if you have a one car in that there are 4 people are sitting, then how you can ask who is the fifth person sitting in the car, right? You understand my question, right? You have one car, right? In that car there are 4 persons are sitting, and how you can ask who is the 5th person sitting in the car? That is out of syllabus, right? Similarly, the L of 5 is out of syllabus over here. There is no 5th index in your list. There is only 4. So now let's try to understand the each index. So let's say L of 0, you have an apple, right? So L of 1, you have a guava, and L of 2, you have a banana, and L of 3, you have a bread, and L of, let's say, 5, sorry, L of 4, you have a hair oil, right? So from each index value, I try to get the element name. Now next, what I want, that I want to get the element not one by one, at least I want to get the element from my apple till banana, all the fruits together. Okay, how we can do that? So that process is called slicing, guys. Slicing. So L of 0, I know I want from the apple, right? It is apple. One second. It is apple. Yes, it is apple, guava, and banana. So I need all these three fruits to get executed and written as a name of the element. So apple, guava, banana. So apple at 0 and banana is 2. So if I write 0, 2, 2, I'll get only apple and guava. So what is the meaning of this? It means that I am giving over here, let's say, if I'm writing over here L of 0 to 2, it means that I want to get the element from the certain range. So the range is, this is called lower range or lower index, and this is called higher index. Higher index. So I want to get the element from this range from 0 to 2, but I got only apple and guava. Where, so that is 0 and this is 1. So where is the second position index element? So whenever you give the range, let's say 0 to 2 or whatever, lower to higher, it's always, this is a thumb rule, guys. Please always remember this. Whenever you give the range from lower to higher index omitted. So it will give you the element of 0 to 1. If you want that 0 to 2, if you want apple, guava, I did a mistake. It's a GUAVA, guava and banana all together to get printed, or let's say to get executed over here, you have to give the range from 0 to 3. L of 0 to 3. Why? Because at the thumb rule, higher index value get omitted, means it get ignored. So if you give 0 to 3, you will get a return as the 0th element, first element and second element. Here, I hope clear. So what is the meaning of this? It means that I am giving the range from lower to higher, as I have mentioned over here. If you don't give this, it will give the error. So it means that I am giving the lower to higher index value and I'm trying to execute and access the element of the given range, and it will always omit the higher range. So if I'm giving 2, so it will give the element of 0 to 1. If I'm giving the 3, it will give the element of 0, 1, 2. If I give 0 to 10, it will give the element of 0 to 9. Clear? So now let me execute this over here. So L of 0 to what? 3. So it will give me the apple, guava and banana. So apple is 0 index, 1 index and 2 index. Clear? Very much. Now let me erase this part. I think you understand what is index is the position of each element, right? In the given sequence. Perfect. We got this. Now let me create one more list. So I'll type L2 equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say Prashant, and over here let's say I'll write over here Delhi, and over here let's say I'll write 10.45 and comma, I'll write over here let's say 34 plus J5. J5 is not working, should work, or 6J. Yeah. So if you see this list and if you see this list, let me print this L1 over L over here. So are you finding any difference over here? So guys, this list LL is a homogeneous list. It is homogeneous, and this is called heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. Why there is a homogeneous and heterogeneous? Because in this list L, you have all the element is string, right? If you see, but in this L2, you have a integer, you have a string, you have a float, and you have a complex number, right? You have all this. So now let's try to execute this part. L2, right? Again, check the type of this L2. You will find the, sorry, DYPE. DYPE, this is list, right? Now, let me try to find the type of L2 of 0. It is the integer, right? So what I'm doing over here, this L2 is list, but the index 0, at index 0, the value which is 1, the element is 1, that is the integer, right? It is a list. L2 is a list, but every element have their own data types. So over here, at 0 index, we have an integer. So now, if I ask you that, what is the, let's say I have this, right? What is the data type of this or data type of this? So let's try to execute and check each and everything over here. So I'll try to teach in very calmly and very detailed. Maybe my video length is lengthy, bit lengthy, but I try to clear all the concept behind the each and every code. Okay, so L2 of 1, let's say, again int, let's say I'll try to execute the 2, it's again int, and let's say 3, it's an int, 4 is a string, so it is this one, right? 0 1 2 3 4. Now fifth is string, let's say sixth one I have a float, and seventh one I have a complex. So in one list you can store different element as well, right? Now let's say that I want to slice out this part from Prashant Delhi till last. Okay, so what is the index value of this? So 0 1 2 3, and this is the fourth one, right? So L2 of fourth and the last. What is the length of the list? I did not get the length of the list. Okay, let's try to execute first the length of the list. Let me get one over here. LEN of L2, that is 8. Perfect. So I'll write the 8 over here, and we get all Prashant Delhi 10.45 and 54 plus 6J. Now you will say that if I write there, let's say L2 of 8, I am getting a list index out of range, but as soon as I've written 4:8, I'm getting the value. Why? Because guys, you are trying to access the individual element of the list at this index which is not existing, correct? You are trying to execute the individual element in the list at this index 8th which is not existing. Why? Because my list start with the 0 and the value is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. The highest index is 7, right? So now you will say that how it is executing over here. Here we are trying to slice out the data, and over here we are trying to give the lower index and higher index. So higher index I have given 8, right? So it will omit that and it will give the value from 4 to 7, right? So it will execute and give me the all the value from 4 to 7. But as soon as you write 9 over here, it will try to give the a value or element from 4 to 8, but 8 is not the index in my L2, right? So it will be index is out of range. Clear? Sorry, over here I was checking the Discord. Okay, if you give, let's say 10, then also it will not give the any error. It will try to give all the possible value for the given index. Okay, clear? But in this case you will get the error. Now this is clear, guys. So there is a one more concept is index is left. So let's try to understand that part. So over here, whenever we try to access the element of the list from left to right, whenever we try to execute from left to right, the index value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Perfect. But whenever we want to access from, let's say, right to left, it will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7 and -8. You want to see that? Let's try to execute this. Let's try to execute this over here. Let's say I'll write L2 of -8. What I'm getting? I'm getting the 1. And if I write over here L2 of 0, I'm getting the 1. So L2 of 0 means you are going from left to right, and L2 of -8 means you are going from the right to left. Clear? And let's say that if I want to execute L2 of -1, so it will give me the last element, because from the right to left it is -1. Perfect. Now I want to access my element from left to right. So L2, okay, -1. So see, it has given the reverse list in the reverse direction. So the code, I'll try to show you the code how it is working over here. So the code, first let me write the question. So reverse the list. This is the basically question that you have to perform. So what I have done over here, I have given double colon -1. So it has given all the element in the reverse direction. First, let's try to understand that what is the meaning of this double colon. So let's say if I write L2 and double colon, you will get the entire element. Okay, what is the meaning of that? So over here, we are not specifying any limit. We are just given L2 colon, that's all. But why I'm giving double? If I'll give single also, because whenever we write L2, we write lower limit, right? Lower limit, then colon and upper limit. Perfect. Upper limit. And whenever we want to access all the element, and with this logic, I can just write one colon and it should work. Whether it will work or not, let's try to understand that. So what I'll do that, I'll just remove one colon. I'll try to get this. Yes, it is possible that with one colon also, we can access all the element. So what is the meaning of one colon? If I give, it means that we are not giving any value. By default, it will take the lowest, that is 0, and highest. Perfect. And it will try to give this. Then why I am giving over here one more dot? What is the meaning of that? So see, in this, the actual logic is L2 lower limit dot upper limit dot direction. So that is the one. So whenever we write L2, let's say 0 to 5, by default direction is we are going from left to right. So by default direction is 1. So that's why we are not writing over here. Okay. That's why we are not writing over here. So we just write this like L2 0 to 5. Okay. And if you want all that, so L of 1 colon, and it will work. Perfect. We are not giving the direction over here. By default over here is a 1 is available. Okay. That's why we are not giving the any colon. We can write 2, 3, 4 also, but I'll come on that later on. But as soon as you write -1, it means that you are going from the left, right to left. And whenever you don't write anything, it means that by default there is a 1 and you are going from the right, so left to right. Okay, clear? So in that case, with this logic, if I write, let's say, 1 colon, it is going to execute and it will give all the value. Perfect. But as soon as you want in the reverse direction, let's say if I write like this, I'll get it, but it will not give the -1. See, it is giving from where? It is giving 1, 2, 3, 4, and Delhi 10.45. It has not given this value, last one. Okay, so I'll come on that later on. First, let's try to understand the reverse direction from the right to left. So over here, nothing is given, means it will take the lower limit, and over here higher limit, and direction -1 means from the right to left. So as soon as I will execute this, you will get all the element from left to right, sorry, right to left. It means reverse direction. Now let's say that I want to get the value only from here till here, means this part, this element, this element, and this element. So I know this is -1, so I'll write -1 to where? -1, -2, -3. If I write this, you will get nothing, because by default there is a 1, guys. So you have not changed the direction. So for that -1 you have to write, and then you will get it. I said this here too, you have to write here -4, because higher limit get omitted right over here. So this is basically my index range, and this one is direction that I am going from the right to left. Clear? Now one more question. L2 of, let's say I write 0 to 5. Okay, I'll get the value. But as soon as I write over here -1, what will do? We'll get nothing. Why? Because you are giving 0 to 5. 0 to 5 is nothing but left to right. But you are giving the direction this way. How it is able to how it is possible to basically access that? So how it is happening over here? Let's try to understand that. You have a list. Where is my list? Let me get the list over here first. L2. Okay. So you have given the 0 to 5 over here, right? So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have given. So when the element is 0 to 5, whenever you go from the left to right, so you have given the address 0 to 5. But in the direction, this is the direction position, right? This is the direction position. In that you have mentioned that you are going from this direction. You are going from this direction and you are writing the index value like a left to right. So it is contradicting and it will not give any value, right? So as soon as you're writing this value, you have to write with -1, 2, 3, or you have to go with the 5 to 0. I think it should work. Let me write the 5 to L2 of 5 to 0 and -1. You are getting this, right? So this way also you can reverse. Understand? So I'm writing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The direction is this 0 to 1, 2, 3, 5. But in the lower limit, I'm writing 5, and the higher limit, I'm writing 0 and giving the direction of -1. So it's making the sense, right? Let me first erase this, guys, if you are getting confused. Okay, so what I'm doing over here in this case, let's say my index value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Now in the index range, I have given L2 5, 0, -1, right? It means that this is the position of lower. This is the position of lower. This is the lower index, let's say, or limit, whatever. This is position of higher index, and this is the position of, let's say, direction. Perfect. Very much clear. But what you are giving, that at the lower index you are giving the highest value. 5 is the highest than 0, right? So you are giving here 5 and here 0. So if you are giving 5 to 0, it means that you are going from this to this direction. Perfect. So if you're going from this to this direction, you have to tell the code also that you are going from this to this direction, from 5 to 0. So direction should be opposite, so -1. So left, right to left you are going, so mention -1. Perfect. Or the other way is, let's say you define -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, and this one is -8. In that case, how it will be? If you write L2 of, let's say you want from this, right, -3 to -8. You're not getting anything. Why? If you write, let's say -1, then you are getting this. You have to define the direction also. If you keep the direction of positive, it means that you're coming from this way, or you're giving direction from this way. So it will not work. Okay. Now you get confused, I know. Now let's say that if I write -8 to -3, you will get it. Be confusing, right? Of course it is not confusing, guys. See, in this case what is happening, I'm giving -8. -8 is my 1, right, and -3 is my this Prashant over here. So I'm coming from with this. If you are giving this minus index, so I'm coming from this direction. So whenever means left to right, I'm coming from the left to right, right? I'm giving over here -8 to -3. So I'm coming from this direction, and this direction is always +1, and this direction is always -1. So whenever you give the index value, please try to understand in which direction it will match properly. That's all I want to say on this. Now, if you practice more, you will understand this. Clear? Now let me erase this. Oof. I have given all the energy, guys. I think you have understood the direction along with the slicing of the element with the index. If it is not, please comment out. I'll try to solve this. Okay, I'll try to again explain this. So direction is important with that. Now coming to the next, let's say that I have a one more. I have a L2, right? I have a L2. Let's say that I want to add some of the element into this. So how it is possible? We will use the function append. Is the function which is used to add the element into the existing list at the end. Okay, so L2 dot append, and let's say I'll write over here. What should I write? Data then with Prashant. And now let's print this. Data then with Prashant has been added at the last. So append function always add the element at the end of the list, existing list. Append means just appending. You have the level of this. Now you are appending one more just below that. That's all. Okay. It is clear. Now let's say that append can only add one element or more than that. Let's try that. L2 dot, let's say append. Okay, and let's say I'm writing over here 34,56. Will this? No. List append take exactly one argument, 2 is given. So append only append one element at a time. At a time, one element. Okay, now let's say L2. So you have a 34 at the end. But if you have a more than one element, then what you will do? So better you make one list, and on this, let's say you have a something. Let's say I'm writing over here 45, 78, 56.34, 1. Let's say string I'll take. Let's say Shubham. Okay, I have this list. Now, what I want that this list L3 want to append into L2. So how it's going to work, guys? So what I'll do, I'll do dot append, and I'll write the L3. Now it's appended. Let's try to execute the L2. So at the end, you have the complete list is appended. So how it is, let's try to execute this part, try to understand this part. So under the L2 we had the certain element, let's say we had a certain element. Perfect. Now we have one list L3 which having some value, so the entire list is getting appended over here, guys. Perfect. Now you don't want to append like this, you want like other element. So what is the way to do that? I'll come on that. But before that, the question is that how to access, let's say this Subham from this L2. Understand? How to access this, or let's say how to access 45, 78, 56.34 from this L2 element using the slicing. So let's say L2 of -1. Sorry, L2 should be smaller, right? L2 should be smaller. -1, you have this list. Correct? Now if you write 0, you will get the first element. First you need to reach to this element, sorry, this list. Then you can access the each element of that list. So you have this nested list, guys, over here. Try to understand that. Okay. So now if I don't want to come from the -1 side, if you go from the, let's say, left to right, what is the position of this list? So the position of the list is better. How to know that? Just get the length of it. Length of L2. It is 11. So the position of this list is 10. L2 of 10. So as soon as you write L2 of 10, you get the entire list. Now I want to only access the, let's say, this part, Subham from this. So I know 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'll write over here 3. So Shubham, first reach to that list and then access the individual element. So this is how you can do that. Now let's say that I want to reverse this list. I want to reverse this list. So L10, L210 is the address of that list. Inside that, whatever the element is there, the individual index is 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? And -1, -2, -3, -4. So what I'll do over here, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'll write 3 is to 0 and -1. Okay. Right? I'm coming from the higher to lower and I'm changing direction because 3 to 0 I'm going. So when I'm going 3 to 0, I have to change the direction also. Right? So let's say that I have a 45, 78, 56.34 and I have a Shubham. Perfect. And over here 1, 2, 3 and sorry, it's 0. My mistake, guys. It's not 1. It's 0, 1, 2 and 3. Perfect. Now if I'm writing 3 is to 0, it means I'm coming from this direction. So if the direction is that, I'll write -1. That's all. Nothing else. So this is how you can access the individual element of the list, of the nested list. Perfect. So now if you want to access this 56.34, how will you access? Just pause the video, write the code and immediately comment out. Okay. So I can understand that you have tried to access this 56.34 by yourself. I'll wait for just some 10 seconds for you. Okay, perfect. So I think you have done that and you have commented. If not, if you're not able to do that, let me do it. L2 of 10 and then I'll write, let's say 56. So 0, 1, 2. So I'll write 2. That's all. Now the question is, let's say I have a L2. I have used the appended over here. Now I use the append of L3 and L3 has appended as a list over here. But I don't want to append as a list. I want that it should be one list. It should not be appended, a nested list over here scenario. So let's say I'll take one more list, L4. L4 equal to, let's say I'll take these elements only because this list is becoming heavy. So I'll create one separate list over here. Okay. Now I'll take L5. L5 I'll take, and I'll take these parts from here, these elements I mean. Perfect. Now I have L4, I have L4, and I have L5. All good. So what I want that these element get appended not as a nested list, as a individual element of L4. So how we'll do that? I'll write L4 dot extend L4 dot extend L5, and now print L4. See, it has been expanded, means this L5 has expanded and has added all the element over here. Clear? So append always add the element at the end, and it is always add individual element at a time, right? And if you use append the list, it will append the entire list into the existing list, and it will work as a nested list. But if you want to not append the other element of the list to the existing list, then you use the extended over here. Perfect, guys. All set till here? You understand the slicing, you understand the indexing, you understand the append, you understand the length, data type, that is type, and extend. Clear? Now let's understand that how to concat two different lists. So let's say I'm taking L10. L10 equal to, I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And let's say L11 equal to, I'm taking, let's say 6, 5, 3, 8. Okay? And I will use L10 plus L11. Sorry, it's L11. Like this also is going to work. Now, if I have, let's say this, let's say I'll execute this and I'll execute this separately. I will not execute L4 now. So what I'll do, let's say I have a L4 over here, which is having this part. Okay, let me, once again, let me execute the L4 here. Okay, now the L4 are having only Delhi till Delhi element, right? And I have a L5 over here. So this is also have an individual. So instead of extend, what I'll do, L4 plus L5 I use. See, this way also you can add the element of one list to the another. So that is called concatenation process. What do you call this? Concatenation process. Clear? You can use extended, or you can just do L4 plus L5, or two lists just plus, that's all. Okay, now I have, let's say L10. So what I'll do, L10 sum of, let's say sum of L10. So we have 15, because 2 plus 1 3, 3 3 6, 6 plus 4 10 plus 5 15. Find the minimum value. So I'll write mean of L10, and we have 1. Find the max value of L10. We have 5. So we have L4, right? We have this L4. Try to find the sum of it. Sum of L4. What you will get? I think, what you will get? Just comment out. You will get the error. Why? Because L4 is a heterogeneous list. What is the heterogeneous list? It means that you don't have only the integer in that, you have the string also, and how you can perform the sum on the string, that is not possible, right? So if you have only the list integer, or you have a float, then only you can perform this sum. Now let's try to find the mean or max. It will work? No, because you have a string and you have an integer. Not possible, right? Perfect. Now let's say that I have a L10. Let's say L1 I'm again assigning 1, 2, 3, 10.56, 67.45. Okay, you have L1 right now. So what I'll do, that I'll find the sum of it. Sum of L1. Yeah, that is possible because integer and float can sum together, right? Mean of L1, right? Max of L1, possible, right? So we have understand all the, let's say count. One more is the count. Count of L1. Count is not defined. Let's say I think we are using different way the count. So it is L1 dot dot count. So what it will count? Let's say I want to count how many times one is there. So it is one time. So count function over here try to show that how many times that individual element is available in that list. So let's say that I'm creating one more list L2. L2 equal to, let's say I'm writing over here 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 2. Sorry, it is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. Let's say Prashant comma, let's say Delhi. Let's say I'm writing over here one more time Prashant. Okay, not this way. Okay, now let's try to find that how many times the Prashant in that list. L2 dot count of Prashant. So it is 2 times, right? See, 2 times. Now let's try to find that how many times this one is there in this list. So it is 5 times. So count function basically try to identify how many times that element is available in that list. Clear, guys? So we have seen mean, max, sum, and count. Perfect. In the beginning, I said to you that list is ordered and mutable, but I have not given any example of that till now. So let's try to understand how the list is ordered and mutable. So I'll take L1 equal to, let's say 45 comma 67 comma 100 comma 3 comma 5 comma 1. Okay, now let's try to see that 45 67 100 3 5 1. It is in the same order. It is not that the order has changed. Perfect. So this is the meaning of the list is a ordered element. Now I said that it is a mutable. What is the meaning of mutable? Mutable means at any time you can change the element of the list. So let's say at L1 I have this 45. I want to change that. How you can change that? So at L1, let's say I write 0. At 0 index I'll write, let's say 1000. And now let's take the L1. So at 40 L1 0th index, before it was 45, now it is 1000. So by accessing the index you can change the value of that particular index of the existing list. Okay, now let's say that I have a L5 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so I have this Subham. I want to change this into Prashant. So what I'll do, L5 and the index value of this, maybe the list is bigger, I don't know. So I'll write -1 because it's the last element of the right side. So -1 I can access this equal to Prashant. And now L5, you can see that we can change the element, right? That is called, it has a mutable tendency or characteristics. Okay, this is called the mutable, guys. Now we'll try to understand how we can arrange the data of the list into ascending or descending. So let's say I have this L1, right? So I will write L1 dot sort and it will change that into ascending order. So let's say L1 and it is 1 to 1000. If you want to change to descending order, so L1 dot, let's say sort and reverse equal to true. And let's say L1, if you print L1, you will have this. Now let's say I have L10. L10 is also number. I want to get some of the lists which have a list integer and string both. So let's take L2. Okay, let's take the L2 over here. L2 equal to this. If I want to, let's say, short this, will it work? Let's try to do that. L2 dot sort, and over here I'll not write anything, just try to see. No, you cannot short your list if it is a heterogeneous. It means that if we have a string in that, because how you compare the string with the number, correct? This is one of the example that I want to show you because it's always asked in the interview as well. Okay, so we have seen how to sort the list, how we can append, how we can insert, sorry, how we can extend, or let's say how we can add to list, how do find a count and mean, max, all those. But let's say that I have this L2, not this L2. I have this L2. Again, I have this L2, right? I want to insert a value over here, 45. Append always add the element at the end, even extend also add at the end, right? But I want to insert at any position, not at the end. So let's say that 0, 1 and 2, this is 2, or let's say at one position I want to insert a value. How we can do that? So I'll write L2 dot insert insert and write the index value. So let's say that I want to insert a second index value, and that value will be, let's say, data 10. What is the issue? I think it is comma and data then should be inside that. So in insert, you have to provide both. First you provide the index, then the data. Yeah, right. So over here, L2, and at the second position, you have this element. Perfect. So we have understand, if we want to add some value at the last of the list, we use append. And if you have a multiple, let's say you want to append a list, complete list to the other list, and should not be nested, then you write extend, and that will add all the element of the new list to the existing list at the end in the same sequence, right? Now if you use the insert, it means that if you have a desire to add the element at the any index, then you provide the index value and the data, that element it will insert. Perfect. Very much clear. Now if you, let's say, want to remove some of the element, so what I'll write, L2 dot remove, and let's say I'll write 0, 0, or it's 1, I think 1. Now let's say check L2. See, it is removed from this. So what I'm writing over here, what is the 1 over here? It is a index value or it is the element? That is the question, right? Now let's say L2 dot remove. Again, it's giving the hint, guys. Let me turn off this. Remove. Okay, and I'll write over here, let's say this Prashant. Okay, so L2. So under the remove, we write the element, not the index. Perfect. But over here, as soon as I written 1, it has removed the 1 from the first index, not the very first one. Why? So again, if I write, it has removed the first one. If I again write this, it will remove from the this position. Comment out. Just do some Google and try to understand that. If we have, let's say, L34 equal to, if we have a 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma, let's say 1 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 1 comma 1. Okay, we have L34, guys. L34 dot remove and 1. L34. Which one has been removed from here? 0th one or the first one? Well, it will be that it has removed the 0th one first. So it, whenever you have a multiple element in, same element multiple time in the given list, so first it will remove the very first element, then the second element of the same, and third, and so on, right? So remove is used to remove any of the element from the list. Now there is a one more, L34 dot pop, and you write over here, let's say 2. And over here, if you take L34, that what has been removed? This 3 has been removed, right? So in the pop, what we are writing? We are writing the index value, guys. This is the index. Please note, this is the index value, and in this, this is the element. This is the element. You want to check it again? Let's say that I have this list, right? I have this list. I want to remove this data den. So what I'll do, I'll take this L2 from here. Okay, I'll take this L2 from here, and L2 dot pop. If you write this data den, you will get the error, right? And as soon as you write 0, it will remove this element, that is a data den, from this. Now see, so whenever you know the index, you use the pop to remove, and it will remove that element from that index, and it will print also that this element has been removed. So pop use the index value and remove use the element, and both functionality is to remove the element from the given list. Clear? Very much. Now let's say that you want to delete the list. So del, and I think L2, and if you check the L2, it is not there. So this is how you can delete the entire list. L34 is there. Let's say that you want to make empty this list. What you will do? So you will write L34 dot clear, and now L34 you should do, it is empty. So if you want to delete the list, del and that list, and if you want to clear, you want to keep the list but you want to clear all the elements, so use the clear for that. So what are things we have understand? We have understand the length, we understand the type, we understand the index, we understand the slicing, right? Slicing and direction with slicing. Perfect. Then we have understand the, let's say, count, sum, mean, max, and short. Then we have understand the, let's say, append, extend, and insert. Perfect. We understand the nested list. We understand the concatenation. Then what we understand that insert is done. Slicing, yeah, correct. Insert is done. So next we have understand the delete, clear, and pop, remove. So these are the operation, guys, we can perform in the list. If you know any other operation as well, please comment out so that other can also learn from you. It's not like I'm the only one who is bringing all the knowledge for you. It's like we are bringing the community and we are helping each other to learn the technology, right? And we can use this in the existing work and grow together, right? So if you know any other operation that list can perform, definitely you write that. Thank you so much, guys, for being with me till now, and please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon. If you have liked this video, please share on the LinkedIn with me. I will be more happy to know that. So let's connect in the next video. Till that, wish you a happy learning.